I've always known that I would have a model railroad in my basement, but also since I was a kid, I've known that I would one day build a full-size via train in my basement. Now, for a while, I thought maybe I'd buy one and have it in my backyard. Then I realized when I was maybe 10 or 11 that backyards aren't that big. So I thought that I'd build one in the house. And I actually have a letter from VIA from when I was 12 in 1987 telling me that we're sorry, Mr. Shron, but we can't sell you the seats from our VIA trains because we need them. But here I am, 20-something years later, and I have the coach in my basement that I've spent 4.5 years building. It took me 2,500 hours, but it's been worth every minute of it to build this VIA coach in the basement. The coach itself is one of VIA's standard coaches from the 1970s and 80s. It ran all over the country. It ran from Halifax to Vancouver to Churchill, Manitoba. You think about all the different people who have ridden in this train, all the different stories that they have. If the seats of this coach in my basement could talk, they would have so many stories to tell you. And I always feel that when I come and sit down in my coach and relax, it's my home office, I work from here, I sit down with friends and we have a drink and just relax. But I just put my hand on that upholstery and it's the stories that are there. It's just amazing. The coach itself I built using mainly wood to do the walls and frame it up. I didn't know what I was doing, so I've made every possible mistake building this coach. In fact, the reason it took 4.5 years was that I had to do everything twice and sometimes 3 times. I mean, even just the exterior wall, the beautiful blue and yellow with the priceless 1980s VIA stripes that you can't get anymore. I had to rip the whole thing out a couple months ago because I hadn't taken into account the humidity and the wall just all got warped and wibbly and it looked terrible. So I was always rebuilding it, and I've learned a lot about construction. I've learned a lot about what not to do. In fact, I think I've learned more about what not to do than what to do. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. But here we are after all this time, and it's pretty much finished, and it's a wonderful place to sit and just watch the imaginary scenery go by, because it's not really going anywhere. Guildwood, the next station stop. Guildwood, la prochaine arrêt. Guildwood in about 5 minutes. En 5 minutes. Guildwood.